Like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
For Syrian women, earthquake adds disaster to pain of war. Atareb, Syria, wrapped in a heavy wool scarf against the cold. Aisha dragged her feet, her baby granddaughter following her, as they made the 15-minute walk from her tent to the nearest bathroom in a nearby building. The only place where they were must wash me. Looking at our house, I wonder how anyone got out alive, said Aisha. Maybe it would have been better if I had died, she added. I came out from under this rubble, and I carried the rubble of the whole world on my shoulders. She doesn't know how much more she and other Syrians can take. Women in particular have taken on the responsibility of holding broken families together in the last 12 years of civil war. The conflict and economic collapse left millions dependent on international aid. The litany of needs is now added the devastation caused by the earthquake that struck killed tens of thousands, and left millions homeless in southern Turkey and northern Syria. Their tent is in a camp for earthquake victims in Atareb, part of the last opposition-held territory of northwest Syria that has been bombed and fought for years. Walking among rows of destroyed houses in the city, it is difficult to distinguish between those killed, imprisoned, maimed or expelled from the country by the quake, and those collapsed by intensive military operations at the height of the fighting. According to the UN, the number of female-headed households across Syria increased by around 80% to more than a fifth of households in 2020. We can treat the women after trauma or after childbirth, but they have to go back to a safe environment with minimal housing, food and clean water. Unfortunately, this is generally lacking in the Northwest, said Basil Termanini, chair of the Syrian American Medical Society, which has dozens of facilities in the Northwest. Throughout the war, Aisha and her family repeatedly fled their home in Atareb to safer areas during the bombardments, where they would remain for months before they could return. Some women find work in community service and support groups. Others do household chores like making soap or sewing clothes. There are hundreds of women civil defense volunteers, many of whom are participating in rescue and search operations for the first time. Halima, a 30-year-old mother of two, lost her husband in the early days of the war. For years, she has been rotating between shelters for displaced people in the Northwest in search of more generous donated food baskets. The quake caused cracks in the place where she is currently staying, and she is afraid to stay there, but has nowhere else to go. The mood has been building for some time. Humanitarian aid to Syria, which has been mired in one of the most complex crises in the world for years, is among the best funded by donors.